What's up, y'all? Welcome to Mind Your Mental, your space to focus on all things related to mental health and wellness. I am in Kona, Hawaii. It is so beautiful out here. If you know me, you know that I love to travel and I just love to explore new things. That's one of the ways that I practice self-care, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to talk about self-care. So if you are struggling in this area or just want to hear more about self-care, please tune in. Let's get into it, and please, y'all, enjoy the view. So what is self-care? Self-care is an approach to living that incorporates behaviors that refuel you, that replenish your personal motivation, that helps you to grow as a person, and helps you to take care of yourself and support the people around you. The activities that you choose to do for self-care should be something that helps to give you an overall balance in your life, and it should promote overall wellness. So one quote that I like to consider when it comes to self-care is this: self-care isn't selfish, it's an act of self-love. So if you are having trouble thinking of ways that you can take care of yourself and practice self-care, don't worry, I got you. So first thing first, how can we incorporate self-care into our day? And what are some things that we can do to practice self-care? So incorporating self-care into your day includes a schedule. So some ways that you can be able to do that is to, number one, think about some self-care activities that you would like to do on a regular basis, and create a schedule for when you would like to practice your self-care. So of course, you know what your schedule is. I would encourage you to get a calendar so that you will be able to schedule your time, and this will be your protected time. So I also encourage you to talk to your family members, talk to your friends, let them know that this is your protected time to yourself. So this would include creating some boundaries around your self-care. Communicate those boundaries to your family and friends so that they are aware of your self-care routine and the time that you want to take to protect it. Self-care can be viewed as selfish. That's why I started with the quote, self-care isn't selfish, it's an act of self-love, because it is exactly that. A lot of times we will push off the things that are good for us and doing things for ourselves to focus on other people. If you are a mom or a caretaker, it might feel really hard to carve out some time for yourself and just focus on you. But this is so important, because in order for you to take care of other people and give them your best, you must be okay as well. One way to incorporate self-care into your daily routine is to focus on the big three, and that is exercise, healthy eating, and getting your sleep. These are things that you can do on a daily basis to practice self-care. So if you're not familiar, I am half of a podcast duo called the Untwined Podcast. If you have listened to the podcast, then you may have heard me talk about the big three. If you haven't, go check us out. It's a really good podcast. Let's jump into the big three. So number one, exercise. So did you know that physical activity helps your brain to cope and deal with stress better? So this can help to treat depression and anxiety symptoms. In a study conducted by Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health, it was found that doing cardio like running 15 minutes a day or walking for an hour a day decreased depression by 26%, y'all. 26%. So some people might ask, how does being physical and moving your body correlates with managing your mental health? I'm gonna break it down for you. First of all, there are many ways that exercise helps us to manage our mental health, but one specific way is that when we exercise and get our bodies moving, that releases a hormone called endorphins. This is a powerful chemical in the brain that energizes you and lifts your spirit. I like to refer to endorphins as the happy, feel-good hormone. This is why exercise has such a positive impact on our mood, attitude, stress levels, and managing our mental health overall. This is just a small piece of how exercise and physical activity improves your mental health. I just spoke about depression, but physical activity has also been proven to improve symptoms of anxiety, ADHD, and trauma as well. So y'all get moving. Schedule a exercise routine. Find some ways that you can move around. You know, maybe you don't like to run, but maybe you enjoy dancing better. Find activities that you enjoy that will allow you to get moving and lean into that. All right, y'all, so moving on to healthy eating. So eating a healthy, well-balanced diet can help you to feel more alert, improves your level of concentration, and also improves your memory. So y'all, sugar and processed foods are definitely a no-no. The sugary foods and the processed foods are pretty much any foods that come in a package that are on the shelves in the grocery store, and that can have a long shelf life, like cereal, Little Debbie snacks, potato chips. Not eating a healthy, well-balanced diet can lead to inflammation throughout the body and in the brain, which can contribute to mood and mental health disorders. So y'all, be real careful about what you're putting into your body. One way that you can incorporate healthy eating into your self-care routine is making sure that you have more fresh fruits and vegetables, and that you at least be intentional about incorporating these things into your diet. So sometimes going cold turkey for some people is the way to go. For other people, it might work better if you incorporate these things into your eating habits gradually. More fruit during breakfast time, or a vegetable or two during dinner time, and gradually swapping out the unhealthy foods for the more healthy foods, which would be your fresh fruits and vegetables. The last of the big three is making sure that you get your rest. I've heard so many people say that I'll get my rest when I die, and you might be doing exactly that a lot faster, because your sleep helps your body to rejuvenate. It helps your body to heal. If you are not getting adequate sleep, this can create a problem for your immune system, definitely your mental health. It can also create issues for chronic disease as well. So y'all, please make sure you're getting your sleep. And actually, according to the National Sleep Foundation, we should be getting between 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. And actually, just 1 or 2 nights of bad sleep or not getting the sleep that you need can really affect your mood and impact your mental health. So your body needs the sleep. It craves the sleep. Getting adequate sleep is self-care. So make sure that you create a bedtime routine. Like I mentioned before, one way to practice your self-care is going to be to schedule it. So for your bedtime routine, create a routine that you can follow every night. One thing that I would want to encourage you to do when creating your bedtime routine is making sure that you find time to wind down. If your bedtime is going to be at 10 o'clock, I would encourage you to start to wind down for bed around 9:30. When you're winding down and getting ready for bed, y'all, please turn off the electronics. That is something that is just going to keep your mind going. And so it's going to take a while for your brain to kind of shut down and get into sleep mode. So one of the things that you can do to wind down for bed would be to read a book, to meditate, to do some sound therapy. A lot of times those are things that you can do to kind of help you get in the mood and get ready for bed, and to kind of tell your brain that that is what you're doing. Creating a nice atmosphere to get quality sleep is very important. So making sure that you have comfortable bedding, making sure that your mattress is comfortable, making sure that your room has nice, calm, dim lights, exactly how you would want it to make you feel comfortable and ready for bed. So now that we have discussed the big three These are things that you can do every day. I'm just gonna say it. These are things that you should be doing every day to improve your mental health. So now that we've talked about the big three, exercise, sleep, and eating healthy, I want to talk about other things that you can do to practice self-care. One of the things that I want to encourage you to do is think about self-care on a spectrum. On one end of the spectrum, your self-care activities will have less of a time commitment. You can do them more often, and it won't take a lot of time and money to be able to do these activities. So it's something that you can do pretty much on a day-to-day or every other day basis. On the other end of the spectrum would be activities that you don't necessarily get to do as much, are activities that take more of a time commitment. It may cost a little bit more money to indulge in these activities. So some of the things that you can do on this end of the spectrum include completing a puzzle, journaling, coloring in an adult coloring book, meditation or prayer, sitting outside, or just walking and being around nature are some things that you can do as well. This also could include taking an extended shower or a bath to help you to relax. And also practicing mindfulness, which is essentially focusing on the present and also using your senses to help you feel grounded and in the moment. But one thing that I do want to point out in regards to mindfulness is that you can pair this with any of the other self-care activities I just mentioned. An example of this would be, say for instance, if you went for a walk. So going on a walk and practicing mindfulness could be that you're walking, but you're paying attention to what you are seeing around you. You're paying attention to the smell. You're stopping to feel things like the leaves to get its texture. You're using your senses to help you stay grounded and present. So that's just one example. These are just a few ways that you can practice self-care more on a regular day-to-day basis. So on the other end of the spectrum, these are self-care activities that might require more of a time commitment, and it may require a little bit more money to follow through with these activities. And based on your lifestyle and finances, you'll be able to decide how often and how frequent you'll be able to participate in these types of activities. An example of this might be taking a trip. If you feel energized by exploring and it's not stressful to do it, then that can definitely be a really good self-care activity. Also, doing things like a spa day, or going to get a manicure or pedicure, or even going to a concert. All of these are ways that you can practice self-care, but I want you to keep in mind that self-care should not be stressful. It should not feel forced. It should be things that you really enjoy doing, and it helps you to feel relieved. It helps you to feel relaxed. It doesn't cause more stress. It makes you feel happy. Okay, y'all, so I'm curious. I talked about creating a self-care routine in the beginning and scheduling time to practice your self-care. I want to hear from you. Let me know what your self-care routine is. And let me know if you've had any problems with following through, and if you were able to overcome those issues and how you were able to do so if you're there. Please share in the comments below. You just may inspire someone. I really hope this was helpful, and if you think so, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to be notified when new content drops. And I'll be back on Wednesdays. Make it a great day, miners, and as always, be good to yourself.